Randy, I want to talk to you about this DEI stuff.
Okay.
I just think the most qualified person should be hired for the job.
I agree 1000%.
But I thought you were pro DEI.
Yes, exactly. I am pro DEI. If you want the best person to get the job, the most qualified person, why wouldn't you ensure that you have the biggest pool possible? Why wouldn't you ensure that you are looking at candidates from all different places, that you are having hiring practices that are inclusive of all people? Typically, when people have done hiring in the past, they oftentimes seek out people that are similar to them, or they go to the same places. Let's say they just go to LinkedIn, whereas there's some people who may not use LinkedIn because they're not familiar with it, or they don't have access to it, or they don't feel comfortable there. Why wouldn't you ensure that you included your advertisement for a job in all sorts of places? There's some people who only hire from certain schools. I remember I had a good friend, and his firm only hired from certain law schools because the owners of the law firm went there, right? So they were loyal to certain schools. Well, that would be silly to suggest that the best candidates only came from those 2 to 3 schools. Wouldn't you have a better chance of getting more qualified people if you included a broad spectrum of schools? You're just widening the net. That's what it went when people were saying they wanted diverse workplaces.
I get that, but don't you want to work with people that you feel comfortable with?
Of course, we all do, right? But it makes an organization stronger. This has been proved 1,000 times where you have a diverse work staff. Because if you have a diverse workforce, you have different opinions. Like if everyone is thinking the same, if it's, this idea called groupthink, you can't be successful. Like how can you really innovate if you just have the same people who think the same, who came from the same places, who have had, very similar experiences in life? It's hard to innovate anything. So, the reason why we had to come up with diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives is because we are all biased. Everyone in the world is biased. We like to be around people who are similar to us. Not a bad thing, right? Not a bad thing. It's a human thing. But it is a bad thing when it creates organizations that are monocultural, that are that everyone looks the same and is the same. Because you automatically are going to feel someone, who looks like you. You're going to feel more comfortable with a white man because you are a white man. Whereas your company, studies have proven, and remember, our jobs are to build the strongest companies. Studies have shown that a company that has more women on the team, or more racial diversity, or religious diversity, or ensuring that you don't go to get people that say, "Oh, we have to have people with disabilities," but it's ensuring that you're not leaving them out, right? Because they may have great talent, and in the past we've looked over these people, and don't they have the right to participate in society? So it's not a charitable thing, it literally is a business decision.
But Randy, we're not running a charity, we're running a business.
Absolutely, and that's my point. You're absolutely not running a charity. What upset me about DEI is they acted like they were doing a favor for marginalized groups. Again, DEI is a business decision. There is not a study out there that has not proven that DEI makes companies better. It is smarter to have a diverse workforce. But people, because of our own biases, we're working against our interests. And so if you say to someone, ensure that you're looking at and considering everybody, how does that not bring in the most qualified people? If I don't see how anyone could argue that we are not bringing, that a bigger pool does not absolutely give you better results. It doesn't make any sense, right? If I'm looking for the perfect dress, right? It seems like going to 10 stores looking for the dress is definitely going to give me more options and a possible, the best fit than going to one store. But people seem to be scared of that.
But isn't DEI racist against white people?
Absolutely not. Even with DEI initiatives, still 83% of all management and above, like C-suite, are white men. I think 83% actually white men, 88% white people generally. So definitely not racist whatsoever. And actually, DEI initiatives were in there trying to balance out the racism as one of the things that had been occurring in this country because companies were not very diverse. And quite frankly, even with all the DEI initiatives that have existed, it's still not diverse, particularly when you look in management, upper management, and C-suite positions. To this day, it did not have the effect that or impact that I would have hoped that it would have, that I fought for. Secondly, DEI initiatives, the group that it helped the most by far are white women. Everything has proven that. White women have benefited most from all DEI initiatives, affirmative action policies that have existed in this country. So certainly it has not been a thing that's been hurt by race, that is racist whatsoever. It really was just trying to level out the playing field. So the idea, the audacity that someone would suggest that DEI was racist is honestly the most laughable part of all of it, particularly because even when it was at its best, even when it was doing its best, it was helping white women the most. So, yeah, no.